Episode 6 of Commercial Breakdown. Steve King, Michelle Hickey. We have made it to the end of what is season 1. This is the season finale. We've done, well, at the end of this, we would have done 6 commercials from the 90s, 6 gloriously terrible commercials, but that all hold a special place in our hearts. And this one for today's episode is no different. We're talking about a commercial that I think when I was 7 years old and saw this for the first time and watched it and let it wash over me, I realized that whatever they were selling, there's no way that this product was going to do what they were promising that it could do. We're talking about Mentos, the popular candy that's still around today. And the specific commercial that we're talking about is the paint suit commercial. Give it a look.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life, nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life, fresh goes better. Mentos freshness, fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
All right, so before we dive into this, have you ever eaten a Mentos before?
I definitely have both the minty, which is the orig, and the fruity variety, but it has been, I want to say, like 15 to 20 years. I don't remember like a specific instance. And to be honest, I wasn't even sure if they still made them because I haven't seen a Mentos commercial in about 15 to 20 years either.
In all your times that you've had a Mentos, have you ever been able to accomplish something wildly outrageous that because you had the Mentos, you were able to do so?
Well, so far, no, but I think maybe the tide's about to turn because right before we recorded, I headed over to the supermarket
No.
and found Mentos.
That is
They
awesome.
they exist. I'm ready to go on an interview and nail it. And I'm curious, like, did you like eat Mentos growing up?
I've never had a Mentos in my life.
You've never had one?
Nope. I've never had one in my
Oh,
life.
I
And I
wish
think
I
it's
could
largely
share this with
because,
you.
well, that's all right. I would have passed. But I think it's largely because of this
Why?
commercial. Well, why? Well, I've come this far.
Oh,
I mean, it's
okay.
not like I'm
It's
missing
it's a
out on
record
anything.
now. Okay.
Right. But I think it's honestly because of the commercials that I
Well, I'm gonna open
chose
this. Keep
not
talking.
to. Yeah, I chose not to have a Mentos. I think out of spite because it just seems so far fetched. All right, so this is the real thing right now. You're
I'm
gonna
gonna try
pop
to
it
do like this pop. Yeah, hang on.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I
All
caught
right,
it.
yeah,
That's talent
nice.
for anyone who knows me. I have zero like athletic skills. All right.
Okay.
So is this like the size that you were picturing that it is?
Is it
It's
like a
kind of
quarter?
smaller. No,
Is it
it's
more
I'd say it's more
quarter-like,
like a
dime-like?
dime, like a dime.
All right.
Should I try
Yeah,
it?
yeah. See, and then see if you accomplish anything big.
It's
What immediate
very
immediate
hard.
reactions? What are you getting? What flavors are you getting? Aromas.
It tastes good, but it's it's
Seems
not
chewy.
it's not as chewy as they would lead you to believe.
It's got like a taffy,
Mm-hmm.
like a. Okay.
Yes, good call. So you've been on interviews before.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. On any of your interviews, have you ever brought along, excuse me for talking with my mouth full. Have you ever brought along a group of friends with you on any interview in your life?
An interview posse? No, I've never brought an interview posse with me along to pump me up before I go in. But I get the sense that like from the beginning of this commercial that it's weird that they're all just like there shaking his hand. Like I feel like something happened before the commercial started that then led to this moment. I feel like they're only picking it up at the exchange at the end, but there was definitely like a lunch or something that they all did to kind of rally this guy before his interview.
Well, I think one thing's clear. None of these people have jobs, right?
No.
It's like these
Middle of the day.
yeah. These three guys, they're out in the big city. They're dressed like they're going to play frisbee golf afterwards. They're not going on an interview, but they're confident that their guy here is going to crush it. Can I point out a bit of foreshadowing? because I
Yeah.
think, we as an audience, we know what's coming here. Something's going to go wrong. The first kind of shot that we see of him away from his group of friends after they're like, good luck, kind of very blurry in the background. We see this shot of a painter painting some benches. And I thought that that was like pretty advanced.
Significant Hitchcock
Yes, absolutely.
feels to this commercial. This is one of the few commercials, though, that when you hear that opening chorus, that opening jingle, that right off the bat, immediately you know something good is not gonna happen. Like, it's gonna be bad for such a joyful, like, flitty,
Yes.
piece of music.
Oh, great word.
Yeah,
It is flitty. I'm now imagining this exact same scenario, but with like a Hitchcock style theme. All right. So our job interview guy has settled himself on one of these benches, one that we discover has already been painted, and he sees that he's now covered in stripes, somewhat of pinstripes.
Can we get a wet paint sign somewhere?
Yeah, really.
So he goes from like agitated when he realizes that he's got paint on his back, and the painter's no help. He's just shrugging, and clearly like his whole world is just like playing through his mind right now. He's got a job interview. This is going to go terribly, and then the light bulb goes off. He's got Mentos in his back pocket. This is going to work out fine. He's got a plan.
I do appreciate the ingenuity. For this alone, I might hire this guy for something. He's like, you know what? I'm already covered in these stripes. Let's go for it. He lays down and starts rolling around. This is like the biggest bench I have ever seen. I think like your typical park bench can fit like maybe 4 people, but I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
No, this bench is made for like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's huge. It's not and for
To
it to like
sleep
for being,
on.
like, yeah, it's like a right. It's like a futon.
Yeah.
like, basically. But yeah, to be in like the town center or the center of the city or something like that, where you're kind of getting this vibe from the commercial, you don't see a bench this long. He looks healthy. He's like 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's definitely the tallest person of his group of friends, so he's definitely like at least pushing 6 feet. He lays down, and in the camera shot, you don't even see.
It's
the
still
other arm
going.
of the
Yeah,
bench.
off
It's-
camera. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was hysterical though that like after he rolls and the painter's is like, what is this guy doing, and questioning his judgment. Then he gets up. The lines on the suit are very evenly spaced out. We don't see him roll over on his stomach because evidently something had to get cut, but he did that too and was able to keep his face off, the ground like
Oh, I wish they were on his face too.
like some kind of seal, and then stands up. Lines are perfectly spaced out. I think it was at this point where, like it takes a lot of guts to say I'm gonna wear a zoot suit to a job interview, but that's what he was left with doing.
What did you think about the painter? Because I really liked his attitude that he didn't bother to put the signs up. He saw what was happening because he was standing behind him, and I was kind of thinking that this guy is like, you know what? I have a job and I'm doing it. This idiot is on his own.
Yeah, this is entertainment for the painter. This is a story that he could tell his wife when he goes home for dinner at night. Honey, you're not going to believe this. This is content, pure content.
Do we think that he had to repaint that bench? I bet he did.
Oh yeah, and he seems very happy about the fact that he has to repaint it, which maybe you question the sanity of the painter at this point.
Well, he's breathing in fumes all day, so that would make sense.
Commercial ends and he gives a little, you can do it there with your rapper there, but he gives a little fist pump with his Mentos stick to, I can only imagine, the painter, and I guess I mean, does he get the job? Do we know how this? I mean, what if he didn't get the job? I mean, all we know is that he fixed his soup problem. He could have bombed the interview.
I think he either bombed it or didn't go. My question is, we've talked about this in past episodes. For some reason, this commercial, which is, I'm thinking geared towards adults, was shown on Nickelodeon, Saturday morning cartoons, the types of things that we were watching when we were kids. I don't feel like this is sending a good message to kids at all, because every single Mentos commercial, they all kind of have the same message, which is, if you eat Mentos, you can do stupid things and get away with it, as long as you hold it up at the end. I can't believe you've never had this before.
I feel like I've gotten pretty far in life without it. I'm all right.